This is the amazing story of Scrappy, the youngest in the extrabits pack. He is a short-legged Labrador like his dad, but he has his mother's colors, Sadie's colors. Now, this is a lovable, unique youngster um, that crept into our hearts when he was born because Scrappy is actually a miracle puppy because he was born, actually stillborn, but my daughter-in-law worked on him for almost 10 minutes. He had so much water in his lungs that it was literally dripping, streaming out of his mouth. It was dripping out of his mouth. And she was shaking him and slapping him on the back and everything to get the water out so that he could breathe. And she was looking at me, and then she even gave him mouth to mouth to try and get air into his lungs. And all the while, Ma Sadie was looking on very concerned, and we were all very concerned. And my daughter-in-law just kept on trying. And she looked at me and she says, I don't think we're going to get this one to breathe. He's not going to make it. And at that stage, he suddenly gave a small whimper, a small cry. And she slapped him some more, shook him some more, and then it turned into a full-blown cry. And he was breathing. And I was looking and I'm thinking, this is a miracle. And it is because of my daughter-in-law's absolute perseverance. She just decided he's not going to die, even though she's telling me the whole time, I don't think he's going to make it. But then we allowed Sadie to lick him and look, sniff him and stuff so that they can bond because he has got my daughter-in-law's scent on him, obviously. But Sadie knew she was saving him. So Sadie was licking him, but this little guy had other plans. He was looking for that nipple. He wanted the milk. And he was wriggling and crawling until he got to a nipple. And then you could not get him off that. The whole time, because he was the third one to be born. It was Raven, then Brutus, and then Scrappy. Now, we know we could identify him by his legs because we already saw the very big paws, and I said he's going to have short legs. But he scrapped until he got to that nipple, and then he was not letting go. And when Sadie moves around or moved around to have another puppy, he would scrap until he get to that nipple, and then he would latch on and he would not let go. And I was looking at him and I'm thinking, you are very scrappy. You fought to stay alive and you are fighting to get enough milk. And I said, he's a scrappy little guy. And that is where he got his name. Because that is who Scrappy is. He is not one to give up. He is not one to just lie down and feel sad. He is Scrappy. And the name stuck with him. Even when we said, okay, you know what, we can rename him now because we know now everyone, and everyone had a name, and most of their names changed. But Scrappy, it's just, my daughter-in-law said, no, it exactly describes him. He is Scrappy. And he's not fighting with other dogs. He's just fighting to make sure that he get his treat, or that he get his food, or that he gets his place in the sun. But otherwise, he's this loving, he is just a cuddlebug. And when I sit outside, so I have a specific space outside at the swimming pool where I sit down and then I have some time with all the dogs. He would come and the others would all try to get onto my lap or have their leg or their paw or their head on my lap, and I have to. Scrappy would come and he would come and sit at the back of me. And it's as if he says, don't worry, I have your back. And he's fine. I don't need to scratch his head. as long as he can sit at my back. And that is Scrappy. He has you. He's the one that is the most concerned when Loki, who's not the lab, it's Uncle Loki, the brown dog. When Loki yelps or cries or starts barking, Scrappy is the first one there to come and see, are you okay? Are you fine? And then he would lick him to death because he loves Uncle Loki. It's his buddy. And that is what Scrappy makes Scrappy unique. Is this short legs but big heart. And then we also found that Scrappy is the one that will get into difficult situations because he likes to lie underneath a car, and we always have to call him out and make sure that he's not under the car. And then he started realizing, okay, he's not supposed to lie under the car. But now what he does is he goes and lie next to the wheel, and then his legs are under the wheel, and you don't always realize it. And so the one day we had someone over, and he has a truck. In Afrikaans, we call it a bakkie. It was just lying there next to the truck, but his legs were underneath, behind the wheel. And I was looking, and I saw all the dogs were lying on the grass, and I didn't think to look if Scrappy is there. And the guy reversed, and he went right over Scrappy's leg, snapping it. I heard the snap, and Scrappy started crying. And then we had to drive around and find someone that will fix it because they all wanted to do all of these surgeries and stuff. And I said, but it's a clean break. Can't we just splint and bandage it? And the one vet said, you know what? Why want to make it so difficult for him? Put him through all of that trauma. Let's splint and see how it goes. Because he's still young, so his leg should grow on. Okay, so we decided to go that way with the option of putting him through all the trauma of surgery and stuff. And then we did that. And he was, I think, he amazed us all because he just carried on as if nothing has happened. The first 2 or 3 days, we had to keep him in the house. We had to keep him quiet, not have him walk too much. He wasn't supposed to run. And that presented a problem because Scrappy was fine. For the first day or 2, he was on pain medication because he was feeling sorry a little bit for himself, and his leg was sore and everything. And then he started walking to such an extent, and we had to stop him, and we had to put a lead on him when we go outside so that he can pee. And Scrappy just went on. He just carried on. The sister also said, wow, he's putting weight on his leg as if it's already 6 weeks and it's only 1 week. And in the first 2 weeks, we had to go about every day to get the bandages fixed again because he was rolling it off. And then eventually we got it to a stage where it stayed where it was supposed to stay. But Scrappy was king of the castle because he was in the house the whole time. He was not allowed to go outside without supervision, and then we had to keep him with us because he wanted to play with his siblings. He wanted to go and run with him. He wanted to go chase the guy at the gate away. And that is Scrappy. He's a scrapper. He does not lie down and feel sorry for himself. And this is our Scrappy. He can be so lovable and he can be so lazy, but he's also always there for you. And he will come and ask for his love and attention just as much as all the others. But he will also lie there and look at you and say, you know what, the sun is nice, I'm not coming now. And that is how we know Scrappy. And Scrappy is our lovable, adorable, short-legged Labrador with a big heart. And please, ladies and gentlemen, if you like Scrappy, hit that thumbs up button, hit subscribe, and share it with someone that can enjoy something like this.